Hello, this is Yehna.
And this is Jessie.
We are super excited to be back with this episode, and it's really fun because we're sitting literally next to each other, kind of going off of just this time that we get to spend together in person. Anyways, we wrestled through many different questions, but today we wanted to invite you and just chat about just our thoughts of me coming to Chicago and what are Jessie's thoughts of me being in Chicago. And also, when this is uploaded, it'll be our 1 year anniversary of starting at the table, which is so wild. So we might even talk about that a little bit and reflect on that. But today, we wanted to cozy up and talk about us. Yeah, I guess. So welcome and join us at the table.
Guys. Did you just hear how seamless that was?
Oh,
our transition to our intro.
Beautiful.
Wow. But also, I love how you said, enjoy listening, talking about us. It's just crazy thinking that a year ago, bringing us back to where we were in our mindset and where we were with life. It's so surreal that in 1 year, so much has happened.
So much has happened. Not even going back to a year, from summer till now. Just
honestly, which is the last time we saw each other.
So, true. Mind-blowing. Okay. But yes, it's been a year since coming to Illinois, and not just like coming here and like leaving like I did last time because I was helping some friends move, but this time I'm like actually here trying to enjoy the city, trying to enjoy time with Jessie.
And rewrite some memories.
Yes, rewrite a lot of memories.
Paint a better picture.
Yes.
Of Chicago.
So true. And it's been so nice just being in a different environment, at least for myself. And I mean, obviously I've tried to like roast Jessie about it, and I'm like, I guess Chicago's all right, but it really has been really good. And thanks to Jessie, we ate a lot of good food. It's been super fun. But in the midst of all of that, we've had to process a lot of unexpected things. Obviously, some are just personal, so those are that. But also reflecting on just being back in Chicago, at least for myself. I didn't go all the way to Wheaton.
We didn't make it there. That's for another journey. Another time.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Which, honestly, to be a little transparent, I think, I don't want to say I was frustrated, but it was just like a little bit, I was a little taken aback of myself, of how much I still need to process that, especially in light of a lot of, at least for my church, we always have a time of prayer, and they always say if you have this urge to pray or to confess or whatever, like do it immediately and like forgive or whatever. And honestly, like I thought I've come to a place where I've felt a lot of peace about that. And then as I step physically here, we kind of touch on it in our previous episode of our insecurities coming up, but I just find myself feeling like I'm taking a couple steps back in that processing journey when it comes to Wheaton, and I think that part definitely does frustrate me.
And already, like, within the last time we saw each other physically in person to now, within those couple of months, I feel like the overarching theme for us has already been, we've kind of had to take a couple steps back, and things have been happening that we weren't expecting, and so in light of that, it's just kind of like a double, effect for, I feel like you and I, but,
But not to get so into that, but overall, I think me being back in Chicago, in a sense, has been pretty redemptive because I think I've put too much weight on the hurt I've experienced in this location that I needed to... I know it feels like such a small deal. I needed to actually alleviate that and live in a little more freedom from that, because moving forward, I don't ever want to misrepresent a location or someone else's home just because of my own personal bitterness, which I need to extract.
Yeah, like turning bitterness into...
like taking that out altogether. There should be no bitterness. This is definitely unscripted, so my brain is just flowing.
Yeah, same. Thinking about yourself a year ago and thinking about yourself here and now, same place. How do you feel like you have changed since then?
Food. Jessie coming with the good questions again. I mean, a year ago, like we said, happy anniversary to this episode. I think I was just so ready for something new. And whether that was out of unhealth or health, I don't know. But I mean, I guess kind of healthy. You came out with this beautiful episode or podcast. But I was so ready to essentially escape my brain. And I was just very fortunate, and I still am so privileged to have had family in a location where I could go to and have that luxury. So last year I was definitely unpacking so much and just looking back on, wow, I can't believe I maneuvered through life with so much on me. I mean, I kind of didn't, but yeah. So now looking back and seeing how far I've come, yes, in the previous episodes I talked about so much frustrations that are in my mind and clouding my mind, and just so many questions of why that didn't feel like it was being answered, and kind of, and again, touching on the previous episode, just feeling like we're moving 3 steps back, like what is happening. But really, if I zoom out and take a breath, God has been so faithful. Because like the fact that we have diligently and consistently been uploading episodes is already a testament to how far we've come in our journey of talking about where we are in our head, in our hearts, and our spiritual journey and our relationship with God. Those are things, at least for myself, I would not have been able to do with a genuine heart. Yes, I can probably sugarcoat my sob stories in such a beautiful way that moves your heart, because we're good at that. But a place of true vulnerability, yeah, that's a God thing for sure. If I think about that, 1 year has truly shifted so much in a good way.
Yeah, I have not a lot of words to say because it's like lifetime processing right now. I'm a very slow processor, but I'm just thinking of like all the cool opportunities
so true
that like you have had you're like, oh. No, well, we both have had.
Yeah.
Specifically like you with like conferences you've been able to speak at, and new opportunities that in the future that are coming up. Like it all started from the spark of just wanting to create a space where we can express our TCK frustrations and find a community where other people feel that way, right? And it's just crazy that it has been such a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
You know, in just a year.
So true.
I feel like a year ago, like my life was so simple. In a good way. Like I was just so, like you said, you were excited for change and you were excited to get this thing rolling, and then now a year later I just feel like there's so much going on in each of our lives. Just so many directions we're being pulled at, yet like we were still able to come back to this thing that keeps us grounded, and like the thing that allows us to be vulnerable, to be always reflective, has been very good for our souls, more than I think we realize. Yeah. So feeling very grateful.
How about you, Jessie? Like, what are some things that come up? I mean, like I said, we're not scripted, so I get it that you might need some time, but what are some things that come up in the forefront of your mind at the moment when reflecting? Wow, 1 year. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, a year ago, I think I was still in the thick of healing. And so just from a lot of things, and like doing therapy consistently and just really doing a lot of self-work. It's weird because you guys are catching us in the midst of being in this phase of taking a couple steps back. But I think when I look at it from a overarching like years perspective, God has done so much in our hearts and in my life. And I feel weird knowing that I'm sharing that weekly.
So true.
You know? Yeah.
We're like journaling live.
Yeah, we are journaling live. You get like the unfiltered, stuttering, sweaty me just talking out loud, and I just can't believe that's become a norm. So I almost feel naked again right now.
Thank goodness we don't ever record videos.
Yeah.
Even
until
though
the last episode.
Until the last episode, but that was a special one. It was more like, hey guys, we've been gone for a month, so here's a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying.
It's okay. I think that's the point of this episode, is just a brain dump of, guys, this is our live update. Usually, to give you a little behind the scenes, we have our Notion up, which is our like the app we use to put up all our outlines, and we read through, and not that we're trying to script, but at least for myself.
Structure.
Yeah, it's a structure, so we're not rambling for 15 minutes straight. And especially for Yehna Kim, I like talk and then I lose my train of thought and I need to recollect myself. But this time we just wanted to really process out loud with the mic on. I don't know what we're thinking, but we want to do that, especially because I'm leaving tomorrow, and I know it's such a small thing for others, just like going back to, wherever, but for me, the fact that I came to Chicago, yes, I didn't make it to Wheaton, that's for another time, but I think the fact that I was excited to come back to Chicago is such a big win for me, because I definitely could not have said that last year.
I don't think you were ready, nor did you have plans to do that, right? I came to you twice. Like, that's how much we were like, we gotta make this long distance work. We're gonna meet anywhere else but Chicago.
I know.
Fly across the world just so that we can avoid not addressing the place. But at the same time, if you think about it, like, Yehna, this is where it all started, right? Even like our friendship, and as you were talking, I just remember like the last day that we had together in Chicago, where I dropped you off at the airport.
Oh my god, that was so weird.
Yeah, it just hit me, and I'm like, dang, that was the last time like our quote-unquote home that we shared together
was done.
Yeah, and now it doesn't feel the same way anymore.
No.
Like, yes, it's familiar, but at the same time not. Like, we have grown apart, but also together at the same time.
Exactly. And like locationally too, I'm not here anymore, and you're not where we started.
Yeah.
Physically. Like, you're in the city now, so
Weird.
Lots
of
emotions. A lot of things. Yeah. It's coming up right now. It's crazy. Ugh. Where are we going with this?
Basically,
nowhere. I think what we just wanted to share is that the reason why I wanted to record this, at least for myself, is 1 year will change so much, but it's okay if those things that hurt you still linger. And I'm not saying that that you should stay in bitterness. No. And yes, you should have people who keep you accountable from falling backwards in that sense. If you were to, that's okay too. I'm telling myself that, because it can feel very, very frustrating thinking, what was all that worth if I'm gonna just fall backwards anyway? But that's not true. The fact that we're here to say, I'm learning to recognize those things,
and I'm learning to listen to God's voice in the midst of this, taking steps forward and backwards. Yeah.
Ooh, man. Just obviously nothing 100% processed, but the fact that we're sitting here on Jessie's bed in Chicago, Illinois is just so mind-boggling. And whoever is listening and is in Wheaton, sorry, I did just kind of pop in and pop out. Like I said, I'll get there. I'll be able to step foot at Wheaton one day.
You're like, will I really?
Oh,
like,
man.
You should see her face right now. She's like, take that back.
I will one day. I'll do it. I honestly thought I could, so I was trying to see if I could go today, but that changed in an instant. But anyway, that's besides the point. But like I said, I think the growth is that I'm not ashamed I just know that I will work on it and I will get there. But for now, I'm going to give myself grace for where I am at, and also praise God for how far I have come.
And praise God for the things that he's doing in your guys' life too. Like, healing isn't a, what is this called?
Linear
journey.
Incline.
I'm sure you have learned that from hearing, like, listening to our podcasts. We have nothing but a perfect and put together healing journey and emotional stability. We're far from it, but just grateful that you can be on our journey with us, but also that it would allow you to just look at your life and look at areas where God has been faithful and continues to be faithful. So
just a little 1 year check-in from us.
Yep.
Oh man, so much more to come, and really thank you so much for sticking with us for this long, and obviously more to come. And just see how much we grow as we continue on this journey of podcasting and sharing our lives and all that these 20s entail. Ew, gross. Anyway, we are on Spotify and YouTube. LOL, Jessie, stop. We're still processing, guys. Anyway, and we put all our updates on Instagram now that I'm back. But anyway, thank you as always for listening, and cannot wait to share more on our next episode. So until then, bye.